Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina seeks more Chinese cooperation in Bangladesh's development stride as the Chinese Vice Minister of the Central Committee calls on her. Temperature increases slightly amid the cold wave, which is still sweeping over some parts of the country. France and Germany interested in further deepening ties with Bangladesh, says Dr. Hassan Mahmood. Government wants rumour-free media with freedom of press ensured, says State Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Mohammed Ali Arafat. Israeli aggression continues in Gaza Strip as the International Court of Justice set to deliver ruling on genocide case against Israel tomorrow. And India trailing by 127 runs against England at stumps on the first day of the first test match of the 5-match series in Hyderabad. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to News at 10. I'm Mahmood Rahman. Those were the headlines. Let's move on now to the details.
বর্তমান অস্ত্র প্রতিযোগিতা নিয়ন্ত্রণ করার জন্য জরুরি ব্যবস্থা গ্রহণ করা দরকার। অস্ত্র প্রতিযোগিতা হ্রাস করা সম্ভব হলে অর্থনৈতিক সংকট দূর করার উপযোগী পরিবেশই শুধু গড়ে উঠবে না, এই প্রতিযোগিতায় যেসব বিপুল সম্পদ অপচয় হচ্ছে তা মানব জাতির সাধারণ কল্যাণে নিয়োগ করা সম্ভব হবে।
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina sought more Chinese cooperation to expedite Bangladesh's development journey. She said China is one of the most important development and strategic partners of Bangladesh. It can cooperate further than the past to smoothen Bangladesh's development journey, she added. The Prime Minister said this while Chinese Communist Party's Vice Minister of the International Department of the Central Committee, Sun Haiyun, called on her at Ganabhavan this morning. While briefing, a speechwriter to the Prime Minister, M. Nazrul Islam, said during the courtesy meeting, Sun Haiyun had conveyed her country's President Xi Jinping's greetings to Sheikh Hasina on her re-election as the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. She said Xi Jinping was confident on re-election of the Prime Minister due to her struggle for changing the fate of Bangladesh people and the love and affection for her countrymen. Sun Haiyun hoped that the activities of Bangladesh Premier will continue for socio-economic development of Bangladesh and quicken the transformation of the country into a prosperous and developed country. Recalling her visit to Bangladesh, she said she witnessed a tremendous and unbelievable development of Bangladesh. In reply, the Premier said the massive development has taken place as she successfully infused confidence among the people that they can do. Sheikh Hasina also credited the continuation of her government for a longer period that helped to implement the plans to develop Bangladesh socio-economically. Ambassador-at-Large M. Ziauddin and Principal Secretary M. Tofazul Hussain Mia were present. A delegation led by Chinese Communist Party's Vice Minister for International Department, Sun Haiyun, paid a courtesy call on Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry at her office in the capital today. During the meeting, they discussed various issues, including bilateral relations, business and trade, Rohingya issue, father of the nation Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's visit to China, and parliamentary activities. The Speaker said Bangladesh has a long-standing, friendly relationship with China. On Rohingya issue, the Speaker sought China's cooperation in repatriating Rohingyas to Myanmar. The Chinese Communist Party's Vice Minister Sun Haiyun said that China has been a long-standing trusted partner of Bangladesh. She said that the Communist Party of China is interested in expanding the area of trade and economic cooperation with Bangladesh. The country's temperature has slightly increased today amid the cold wave, which is still sweeping over several districts today. The shivering cold has disrupted public life in almost all parts of the country, with dense fog at night and chilly winds in the daytime. The biting cold has hit severely the low-income people, especially the daily labourers. The Weather Office said The current cold wave may continue till the end of January in the northern and southern regions. The country's lowest temperature was recorded at 8.3 degrees Celsius today in Dinajpur. The people of the district have been suffering from various cold-related problems. Met Office, in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow, said light rain or drizzle may occur at one or two places over Chattogram and Borishal divisions. Besides, weather may remain dry with temporary partly cloudy sky elsewhere over the country. Moderate to dense fog may occur over the country during midnight to morning, and it may continue till noon at places. Night temperature may fall 1 or 2 degrees Celsius, and day temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country, said the Met Office. French Ambassador in Dhaka, Marie Mastupuy, and German Ambassador in Dhaka, Ashim Troster, held separate meetings with Foreign Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood today. After the meeting, the ambassadors of the two countries handed over to Foreign Minister copies of the congratulatory messages of the President and the Chancellor sent to Sheikh Hasina on her re-election as Prime Minister. Briefing reporters after the meeting, Foreign Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood said France and Germany have expressed interest to further strengthen mutual relations with Bangladesh.
অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ডেভেলপমেন্ট পার্টনার এবং স্বাধীনতার পরপরই যে গুটি কয়েক দেশ আমাদেরকে স্বীকৃতি দিয়েছিল তার মধ্যে ফ্রান্স এবং জার্মানি দুটোই আছে এবং আমাদের উন্নয়ন অভিযাত্রায় দুটি দেশের অবদান অপরিসীম আমাদের মধ্যে দুই দেশের মধ্যে দ্বিতীয় স্যাটেলাইটের জন্য একটি এমওইউ স্বাক্ষরিত হয়েছে আজকে আমরা আমাদের যে বাণিজ্য সম্প্রসারণের জন্য এবং ইনভেস্টমেন্ট আরো ব্যাপক হারে আমাদের দেশে যাতে এই দুটি দেশ থেকে আসে সে বিষয় নিয়ে আলোচনা করেছি এবং ফ্রান্সের সাথে যে এয়ারবাস নিয়ে আলোচনা হয়েছে
We were able to review all that from culture to trade to defense to climate change and many other bilateral areas of cooperation.
State Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Muhammad Ali Arafat, said the government wants mass media free of rumor, misinformation and disinformation while upholding freedom of expression. He said this at a view exchange meeting with the leaders of Association of TV Channel Owners, ATCO, at the Secretariat today.
পূর্ণাঙ্গ চিত্র তুলে না ধরে পার্শিয়াল একটা ইনফরমেশন উপর ভিত্তি করে অডিয়েন্স কিন্তু বিভ্রান্ত হয় এমন কোনো স্ট্রাকচার আমরা তৈরি করতে পারি কিনা যেখানে আমরা অপতথ্যকে জবাবদিহিতার আওতায় আনতে চাই গণমাধ্যম সরকারকে জবাবদিহিতার আওতায় আনবে সরকারের বিচ্যুতি ব্যর্থতা তুলে ধরে সমালোচনা করবে এটাই কাম্য এবং আমরা জবাব দিব একই সাথে আমরা সবাই মিলে গণমাধ্যমকে বা অন্য কিছুকে ব্যবহার করে যদি অপতথ্য এবং ডিসইনফরমেশনের বিস্তৃতি ঘটানোর অপচেষ্টা করে সেটিকে আমরা সবাই মিলে কিভাবে একটা সলিড স্ট্রাকচারের মাধ্যমে জবাবদিহিতার আওতায় আনতে পারি এবং সেগুলো রোধ করতে পারি সেই বিষয় নিয়েও আমি আপনাদের সহযোগিতা চাই
The State Minister called upon the TV channels to keep the mass media away from misinformation and propaganda. Any attempt to mislead the nation by presenting untrue information has to be resisted, he added.
স্বাধীনতা ডিফারেন্স অফ ওপিনিয়ন থাকবে কিন্তু কিছু জায়গা যেমন বাংলাদেশকে নিয়ে তো কোনো বিতর্ক থাকতে পারে না আমার পতাকাকে নিয়ে তো কোনো বিতর্ক থাকতে পারে না জাতীয় সঙ্গীতকে নিয়ে কোনো বিতর্ক থাকতে পারে না মুক্তিযুদ্ধের চেতনার মূল যে জায়গাটি আমরা কেমন রাষ্ট্র হব যে সংজ্ঞায়ন হয়েছে 30 লক্ষ শহীদের বিনিময়ে সেখানে তো কোনো বিতর্ক থাকতে পারে না এবং সেইখানে বিতর্ক তৈরি হলে সেটি আসলে মত প্রকাশের স্বাধীনতার পর্যায়ে আর থাকে না সেটি রাষ্ট্রবিরোধী কর্মকাণ্ডের পর্যায়ে চলে যায় তো সেইখানেও আমি মনে করি আমাদের আলাপ আলোচনার ভিত্তিতে আমরা কিভাবে এক হয়ে আমাদের ডিফারেন্স অফ ওপিনিয়ন ডিসএগ্রিমেন্ট এবং সমালোচনার স্পেস রেখে কিভাবে একসাথে আমরা সামনের দিকে এগোতে পারি এই চেষ্টা আমাদের থাকবে
ATCO Senior Vice President Iqbal Subhan Chaudhry and other leaders of the organization also spoke at the meeting. Now, international news. At least 20 killed and 150 wounded as Israeli tanks fire shells and live rounds at people in northern Gaza City who lined up to receive much-needed humanitarian supplies. UN says heavy fighting has encircled two hospitals in Khan Yunis, Nasser and Al-Amal, leaving thousands of terrified staff, patients and displaced people trapped inside. The Israeli military demolished hundreds of buildings near its fence with Gaza as it seeks to create a buffer zone in clear defiance of US demands. At least 25,700 people have been killed and 63,740 wounded in Israeli attacks on Gaza since October the 7th. Meanwhile, the International Court of Justice, ICJ, will issue a decision on Friday in South Africa's case against Israel over alleged genocide in Gaza. At least 73 people have died in southwest Mali after an artisanal gold mine collapsed. Officials said there were over 200 gold miners in the field. It was not clear what caused the mine collapse that occurred on Friday. The Ministry of Mines said in a statement that it estimated several miners had been killed in the Kangaba district in southwestern Kolikoro region. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has accused Moscow of playing with the lives of Ukrainian prisoners after a deadly plane crash in western Russia. He demanded an international inquiry after Wednesday's crash in the Volgorod region near Ukraine's border. Russia said there were no survivors after Kyiv had downed the Il-76 plane with 65 Ukrainian prisoners of war, 6 Russian crew and 3 escorts. Moscow claimed the Ukrainians were being flown for a prisoner exchange. Ukraine's military intelligence said it had not been told to ensure safe airspace as on previous occasions. On now to some sports news. India were trailing by 127 runs against England in the first innings on day one of the first test of the 5-match series in Hyderabad. At the end of the day, India scored 119 runs for 1 wicket in the first innings. Jaiswal was unbeaten on 76 and Shubman Gill was unbeaten on 14. Earlier, England won the toss and elected to bat first. They were all out at 246 in their first innings. Ben Stokes scored 70 for the team. Ravindra Jadeja and Ravichandran Ashwin took 3 wickets each for India. Meanwhile, West Indies scored 266 for 8 wickets in the first innings against Australia at stumps of day one in the second test of the 2-match series in Brisbane. West Indies won the toss and elected to bat first. Joshua De Silva scored 79 and Kavem Hodge scored 71 for the Caribbeans. Australia is leading the series 1-0. The largest marathon of the country, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib Dhaka Marathon 2024, will begin in Dhaka tomorrow. Local and foreign athletes will participate in the marathon. On this occasion, a press conference was held at a hotel in the capital today. 59 foreign men and women runners will take part in the 42.19-kilometer full marathon under the supervision of Bangladesh Army. Besides, 5,806 Bangladeshi runners will participate in the 21.09-kilometer half marathon. Chief of Naval Staff Admiral Mohammad Nazmul Hassan will inaugurate the marathon. Bangladesh Olympic Association BOA President and Chief of Army Staff General S.M. Shafiuddin Ahmed will distribute the prizes among the winners at BNS Sheikh Mujib base adjacent to Sheikh Hasina Sharoni in Purvachal. To wind up the bulletin, here once again are the headlines. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina seeks more Chinese cooperation in Bangladesh's development stride as the Chinese Vice Minister of the Central Committee calls on her. Temperature increases slightly amid the cold wave, which is still sweeping over some parts of the country. France and Germany interested in further deepening ties with Bangladesh, says Dr. Hassan Mahmood. Government wants rumour-free media with freedom of press ensured, says State Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Mohammed Ali Arafat. Israeli aggression continues in Gaza Strip as the International Court of Justice set to deliver ruling on genocide case against Israel tomorrow. And India trailing by 127 runs against England at stumps on the first day of the first Test match of the 5-match series in Hyderabad. That's it from the newsroom for now. Thank you for being with us. If you can, please do join us for our 11:30 bulletin in Bangla. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.